Hey everyone. There are a couple of UFC fighters that are pretty well known for being like a really nice person behind the scenes, like after a fight. Because there's a pretty good dichotomy between a really violent fighter that could kill someone in a couple of punches, and then someone who really cares for the fans, or people that look up to them. Which is great and all, don't get me wrong, but I love seeing some fighters that are just so bizarre in the head that just what happen by pure fate or by working hard, that they just have the best job ever that they love, just wailing on people on the canvas. I'm not talking about the fighters that have severe brain damage and just hit their wives at home. I'm talking about the kind of guys their occupation of being a UFC champion, well known for being insanely strong, does not change their personality at all. The best fighter in this category that I just love absolutely, Sean Strickland, the kind of guy you'd see at a gas station, minding his own business, but then when you get home, you see him on the TV, and you come to find out that he can destroy a lot of people in the octagon. Well, you just thought he was a simple-minded guy, that's it. Because most people you see out in public are very ordinary. Some of them look kind of burly, maybe bulky, but some more fat strength, where maybe they look like they started a bar fight before in the past, but definitely not UFC champion level like he is. And God, not to mention his buzz cut, I love the hair so much. Or lack of hair, I mean to say. If the most you've seen out of him is clips during a pre-fight, then yeah, that's a pretty good surface level show of his character, of what he's like. But at the same time, if you watch his appearances on podcasts or if him talking about upbringing, his tough past, he's way more than just that. As well as being more sympathetic and just some crazy guy. You probably would hate him if you only saw him in interviews and the way he acts. But again, if you saw more of him, then yeah, it's way harder to hate him. Apart from that, there's also that pure jealousy you might get as a man from seeing him act like the most dude guy ever in history. That just makes you I wish I was like him, not some cook like I am right now. He does not care at all. I remember vividly one clip of him at a pre-fight with Adesanya, I believe, and he just came up for this huge fight, just wearing a plain white t-shirt and jeans, the most basic guy ever, the most bold statement of saying I'm just getting this out of the way, I do not care for being here at all. And how did that fight turn out? So carrying from that, there's no greater moment that you want to be a macho guy like him when someone's messing with you, especially just kids. You've most likely had a time where you were ding dong ditch and you feel an actual moron just waddling to your front door with actual saliva dripping from your lip. And afterwards, in a moment, just for the rest of the day, you want to beat the shit out of that kid. And I say kid because most of the time it is them. Well, if you check Strickland's Instagram, you've most likely seen that clip of him of his ring camera recording a kid 1 a.m. in the morning, what was it, morning, evening, whatever, midnight, yeah, definitely. And the kid is running up with his spaghetti bone body with his shirt over his nose so he doesn't get caught. And so if you just see this clip out of context and you had no idea where it came from, you would not expect Sean Strickland to walk out a nightgown with a pistol in hand. My God, that is the peak of evolution, some animal being disturbed from his slumber in the winter, and the only idea going through his mind is fight or flight, and he chose to fight and defend his goddamn home. Oh my, I forgot, so he had the Dumb Ways to Die song as well. Jesus Christ, he knew full well he did not care if he took a life right then and there. God damn, from that stroll, for a fact in his previous life, he was the biggest executioner in 1500s Italy. Well, by him killing you, that was a statement by itself. Well, I'm not sure if he manages to count himself on Instagram, because he's probably a busy guy, but at the same time, he is the kind of character that believes that Instagram is only a place for little kids, and he's a real man. By the way, it really feels like this caption was written by him. Just says here, it's 1 a.m. and I get a ring alert. Car pulls you and some guys jump out and go to the side of my house. In the process of covering my white ass, I hear a bang. Lol. There's no way somebody else wrote this. If someone uses lol, that's the only abbreviation they're ever gonna use online. That's the best encapsulate for every emotion they could conceive as laughing. You guys have a car, it's Friday, at night, why aren't you out trying to get pee? I don't know what pee is. Kids these days, all the wrong priorities. Didn't see the doorbell till after, ... Just so you all know, I get crazy stuff sent to my house, ... LOL, exclamation mark. To be fair, if there's any time in the night you should bring a gun when opening your door, it would be 1 a.m. But I would love to imagine whenever he takes a box from FedEx, whatever, he just grabs a shotgun, loads Dragon Breath rounds, just in case. But yeah, in terms of the kid, nobody knows if the kids knew what house they went into, but I feel if they did, or they had some modicum of who Sean Strickland was, they probably wouldn't be that privy to knock on his door. Also, he lives in a nice ass neighborhood. From that nightcap cam you could see where it's mostly like black and white. You can just see like it's a very nice place to live in. So I just feel like those kids, you know, lived around the area. Like they don't live on the same street, more like, you know, behind or in front of them. So, but they didn't really fully know who lives in the house specifically. I'm really sorry, but I can't like understand the caption he wrote for this. The only part I can possibly like decode is like he said the kids jumped out the car or they pulled up in front of his house so they could just drive away quickly after they ditched. Which, man, that's a pussy move. There's no respect to be found in pranks like that. But there is a tiny part of, you know, like just being able to like run after, like down the street or hide behind a, you know, like a stone fence. That's the one lane part. It's like a drive-by shooting where after you shoot the person, you get into a jet and you break the sound barrier trying to get away as fast as possible. However, in an alternate universe, in a much happier one, I definitely imagine that Sean Strickland called the kids and instead of like, you know, going back to bed, he wants to like have some fun, but he throws away the gun, he forces them to fight like one-on-one, like MMA. With a guy like that, he definitely sees that like, you know, good luck for him, you know, having to wail on some kid because he has every right to. He wouldn't have any mercy for him at all.